Peyton Manning was born on March 24, 1976, in New Orleans, Louisiana, into a household where football wasn't just a pastime. It was tradition. His father, Archie Manning, had been the star quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, a beacon of hope for a struggling franchise. Growing up in a football family meant that Peyton was exposed early to the discipline, strategy, and pressure of the sport. But from the beginning, he wasn't content to just be Archie's son. He studied game film like a coach, spent hours tossing footballs in the yard with his brothers Cooper and Eli, and developed a fierce internal drive to be the best. His mother Olivia instilled humility and academic discipline, while Archie taught the subtleties of quarterback mechanics and leadership. By the time Peyton was in middle school, he was already drawing attention not for his last name, but for his obsession with mastering the quarterback position. At Isidore Newman School in New Orleans, Peyton's brilliance began to blossom. He became the starting quarterback as a sophomore and never looked back. His calm under pressure, pinpoint accuracy, and tireless work ethic turned Newman into a powerhouse. He led the team to a 34-5 record during his high school career and threw for over 7,000 yards and 92 touchdowns. But stats were just one part of the story. Peyton was already displaying traits that would later define his NFL career: film study, precise footwork, audibles at the line of scrimmage, and a command of the offense far beyond his years. Colleges across the country lined up to recruit him. Though Ole Miss, his father's alma mater, seemed like the obvious destination, Peyton surprised many by choosing the University of Tennessee. The decision signaled that he wasn't interested in playing under a legacy. He wanted to build his own. Arriving at Tennessee, Peyton faced stiff competition, and early on he was the backup. But when injuries struck in his freshman year, he was thrust into the spotlight. By his sophomore season, he had taken full command of the Volunteers' offense. Under head coach Philip Fulmer, Manning transformed Tennessee into an SEC juggernaut. His junior and senior seasons were particularly spectacular, with Peyton throwing for over 3,800 yards and 36 touchdowns in his final collegiate year. His leadership on and off the field made him beloved in Knoxville. He graduated with a degree in speech communication and earned academic All-American honors. Yet, despite his incredible college resume, Peyton narrowly lost the Heisman Trophy in 1997 to Charles Woodson. That loss stung, but Peyton kept his focus on the bigger picture, preparing for the NFL. The 1998 NFL Draft saw the Indianapolis Colts hold the #1 pick. It came down to two quarterbacks: Peyton Manning, known for his intelligence, leadership, and polished skills, and Ryan Leaf, a more physically gifted but volatile player. The Colts chose Peyton, and that decision would change the trajectory of the franchise forever. In his rookie season, Manning threw for 3,739 yards and 26 touchdowns, but also 28 interceptions. The team finished 3-13. Many wondered if he would adjust to the speed of the NFL. Peyton answered those doubts immediately in year 2, leading the Colts to a 13-3 record and throwing for over 4,000 yards. He quickly became the franchise quarterback Indianapolis had dreamed of, forming a dynamic connection with wide receiver Marvin Harrison and developing into one of the most prolific passers the game had ever seen. Throughout the early 2000s, Manning led a high-powered offense. He dissected defenses with surgical precision, calling plays at the line of scrimmage, shifting protections, and reading coverages in real time. His pre-snap command became legendary, as did his shout of Omaha to change plays or signal blitzes. Peyton didn't just play the quarterback position. He elevated it into a cerebral chess match. In 2004, he set an NFL record with 49 touchdown passes, earning his second MVP award. But as brilliant as the Colts were in the regular season, the postseason remained a hurdle. Time and again, they were eliminated in January, often by Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. The budding rivalry between Peyton and Brady captivated fans. Brady had the rings, Peyton had the stats. Their duels became must-watch television, pitting two of the most brilliant football minds against each other in high-stakes battles. In 2006, Manning finally silenced the critics. That year, he led the Colts to victories over the Patriots and then the Bears in Super Bowl 41. He was named Super Bowl MVP, having thrown for 247 yards and a touchdown in a rain-soaked game in Miami. It was the crowning achievement of his career at that point. Manning had validated his greatness not just with numbers, but with a championship. Over the next several years, he continued to put up historic numbers, adding MVPs in 2008 and 2009 to his resume and helping elevate receivers like Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark to Pro Bowl status. He was known for his intense preparation, often watching hours of film in his home theater, breaking down opponents frame by frame. Coaches often joked that Peyton knew their defense better than they did. Then, in 2011, adversity struck. Manning underwent multiple neck surgeries that left his future uncertain. He missed the entire season, and the Colts, without him, fell to 2-14. Faced with the chance to draft Stanford's Andrew Luck, the Colts made the heartbreaking decision to release Peyton Manning. It was the end of an era in Indianapolis, but Peyton wasn't finished. He signed with the Denver Broncos, a team in need of leadership and a quarterback capable of delivering them to the promised land. And Peyton delivered immediately. In his first season in Denver, Manning threw for over 4,600 yards and 37 touchdowns. In 2013, he had one of the most dominant seasons in NFL history, setting records for both passing yards, 5,477, and touchdowns, 55. He earned his 5th MVP award and led the Broncos to Super Bowl 48. But that game ended in disaster, as the Seahawks routed the Broncos 43-8. Critics resurfaced. Could Peyton win another big one? 2 years later, he got his answer. In 2015, despite injuries and reduced arm strength, Manning returned late in the season to guide the Broncos to the playoffs. Their defense, led by Von Miller, dominated opponents, and in Super Bowl 50, the Broncos defeated the Carolina Panthers. Peyton didn't have gaudy stats that day, but he managed the game and delivered victory. He retired shortly after, going out as a champion. Peyton Manning's career stats are staggering. Over 71,000 passing yards, 539 touchdown passes, 2 Super Bowl rings, 5 MVP awards, 14 Pro Bowl selections, and a legacy that helped reshape the NFL. But numbers only tell part of the story. He changed how the quarterback position was played, turning the field into his laboratory, the line of scrimmage into a command center. He inspired a generation of quarterbacks who admired not only his throwing ability, but his mind. Players like Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes have all cited Manning's influence. Off the field, Peyton became a cultural icon. He appeared in countless commercials, from Nationwide to Papa John's, and hosted Saturday Night Live to rave reviews. His charm, wit, and self-deprecating humor endeared him to fans beyond football. He founded the Payback Foundation to support disadvantaged youth and remained active in community service throughout his career. In 2021, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, where his speech combined heartfelt gratitude with comedic timing, perfectly encapsulating who he was. A fierce competitor and a beloved personality. Even after retirement, Peyton stayed close to the game. He launched the Manningcast on ESPN, a unique Monday night football commentary show with his brother Eli that quickly gained popularity. It was analytical, funny, and insightful. Exactly what fans expected from Peyton. His impact on football continues, not just in commentary, but in mentoring young quarterbacks and advocating for the future of the sport. Peyton Manning didn't just play the game, he elevated it. From a boy studying film in his father's den to a Hall of Famer with one of the most iconic careers in NFL history, Peyton Manning's journey was marked by brilliance, resilience, and relentless preparation. He wasn't the flashiest athlete or the most naturally gifted, but he squeezed every drop of potential from his body and mind. He led by example, studied like a scientist, and competed like a warrior. He made greatness look methodical. And when future fans look back at the golden era of NFL quarterbacks, they'll see a man with a high forehead, a laser arm, and a voice yelling, "Omaha," before carving defenses apart. They'll see a man who never stopped improving, never stopped learning, and never stopped pushing the limits of what a quarterback could be. That man is Peyton Manning.